Hello and welcome to this week's angling blog. This week you join me on a short session back on the banks of Willow Pool on the Belmont complex. So as you can see behind me, some of the ice on the ground has melted. The temperatures over the last day or two have increased, and you can see there the bit that doesn't get any sun is still holding a bit of that snow. My gut feeling is the day is going to be hard. I've not done much winter fishing for carp, but I have done a lot of canal fishing, and when you get that snow on the ground and not in the water, after a day or two, the fish in the water are acclimatised to the temperature, but as soon as that snow melts and it goes into the water, you get that influx of cold and it can knock the fish in. So today, it's going to be a bit of a learning curve for me. I'm not sure how the session is going to go. So I don't like to talk too much on the channel about COVID. You know, the channel is there to give people moments to forget about it. But we are on around 50,000 cases a day at the moment. So, you know, we're looking, I'd be amazed over the next couple of weeks if we don't go into another national lockdown. Where that will leave fishing remains to be seen. But it is one of those things that is going to be coming, and most certainly if it does come, will inhibit the travel to venues. Back to the fishing today, and we're here on the bank hoping to get a bend in the rod. We'll take a quick look at the setup and get that rod in the water. So the rod that I've gone with is the Carp Ambition rod, quiver at 11 foot. I've teamed that up with a Carp axis reel, and on there I've got 6-pound line. So on the last vlog I have been using the Carp 30 gram feeder. As you can see, it's quite a big profile and was getting bites, but this is all about learning for me, and fishing is all about learning. Today just going to refine it down a bit more. If you look at the size of them two, that is one of the Preston ICS feeders, but it does come apart and you can change between a straight bomb and a feeder setup really quickly. But I'm hoping that smaller profile feeder is going to put less bait on the bottom, so hopefully if I do have to cast about, it's going to leave less bait as a patch and not as much bait in the swim. I'm dying to make a cast, so let's make that first cast of the day and see if we can get a carp. So what this swim gives me is options. Down the edge there we've got the reminiscence of a bit of a reed bed, as you can see on screen now, a bit more of a close-up. We've got an overhanging tree which just looks like a place that fish would hold. So the second cast of the day, and I've literally just gone 5 yards off the end of the tree, just taking it easy. I have got the option obviously to put the bomb on and a visual pop-up straight off the lead is another idea that I've got. With the water being so clear, then that is an option that I've got, and obviously got quite a lot of water that I could explore with that, with quick casts just to try and get a reaction bite. But at the moment, just taking it easy. We've still got a couple of hours of the session left, so there's no rush, no point piling bait in. So second cast, and I'm just going to give it 20 minutes and see if we get any indication on this one. So just into the first one of the day on that second cast, and that one, like I say, was just on the outside of the tree. Probably taken 10 minutes. It's a nice early fish and a good sign, you know, just taking your time. 2 casts. And one thing that we will have done today over the other sessions, we will have left less of a footprint over there, i.e. there'll be less bread left on the bottom because we're using that smaller feeder. The snow on one side and the melt on the other, and the carp coming in that gin clear water. You'll be able to see him in a minute. There you go. Third session on here, and This fish again is ice cold. Does feel good to have a bit of sun on my shoulder while holding it up, but there's no heat in that sun at all. It is very cold. The second cast, proper made up with that. You know, like I said, less bait now on the bottom. Hopefully it means we might get a bite quicker, and we'll see how we do today with that smaller patch of feed. Won't keep it out too long. It's got some lovely dark colours, this one, and we'll get it straight back. And give it a good rest before it goes back. And in this gin clear water, it's going to be nice to see it go back. The beauty of these ICS systems is you can just flick the sleeve off the top, push the method feeder off the line, and I've put on a bomb, and I've just got a whittle down blackjack pop-up. It's just going to be off the bottom, and yeah, fishing, like I said, for me is all about trying new things and learning, and you don't know unless you try them. So casting wise, just gone off the edge of the tree where they had that fish, just probably about 5 yards off, same place. So there is going to be a little bit of bait there, you would think, from that second cast. You never know, but now just got a straight lead and that pop up. Nothing come on that straight bomb off the tree. So the third cast on the method feeder, I've gone round about here. Now you can see how clear it is down there. Before I had a cast under there, I did have a quick walk along and have a look, and I couldn't see the bottom. So I am confident that there are a few fish about it. You could just see the difference in the clarity of the water. So it's been about 3 minutes since the rod went in under the tree, and I've just had the first little indication. I am recording, so I'll try and put it on screen now if it has picked it up. But a good sign so early on in that cast that there's something about either the tip of my rod and that line, which can only be close in if you look at the line lay, but does bode well, and a nice positive reaction to that first cast under there. So that one underneath the tree didn't take too long to go from a couple of taps to a nice wrap round, and it looks like a nice carp. You just love them boils when they come up. Does feel like a nice one. It's certainly plodding about a bit. A nice bending the rod against the blue sky. We'll see if we can get him in and take a look at him. Hopefully will be carp number 2. You just see there how far out you can see that carp. Underneath my feet here it's so clear, whereas when I had to walk under that tree I couldn't see anything. It says to me, you know, there's a few fish around that are making that colour in the water. What a lovely reward that is. Probably got to be getting on for double figures, most certainly. Good fight on that rod, and lovely to see it in that clear water. Let's get it straight back and see if we can pick up another. She's given me a good battering on the bank. Proper hard fight, so I've given her a good rest in the net. She's more than ready to go back. Back she goes. Straight back under the tree. So what a result that was. What a lovely fish. And I would imagine almost certainly a double. Good scrap. Didn't half pull the tip round. Hopefully it's come out on the GoPro. Now we're just back underneath the tree. And you ever get to that point on a session, don't you, where you don't really care now? That fish was just worth coming alone for. A good scrap. And from now on, whatever happens, it's just good to come out, get a bend in the rod. So January is normally roach, dace and pike for me, and you've seen that year on year. But this year's been different. The rivers have been quite high. Opportunities to get on the rivers have been hard to come by. Over weekend, the rains have come, and more recently the snow. the canal is frozen over and the river that I want to fish for pike is a mess. But what I have done is found, you know, happiness and solitude on a venue that I never thought I'd come on at this time of year. And that's the magic of fishing. It's the journey it takes you on, the different places you find yourself. You make all them plans, but sometimes fishing takes you on a different journey. I'm so glad that you guys enjoy coming on that journey with me, and subscribe to the channel and follow the adventures. And let's hope in 2021 there's many more to come. And that tip just goes round one last time. So it's been quite a quiet last bit of the session, to be honest with you. The temperature really has dropped, and had a couple of casts underneath the tree. Very little indication, to be honest with you. I've just, on last knockings, we might have maybe time for one more cast, and this has come right off the edge of the tree, and the faintest of bites, it was tiny little knocks. Sometimes you've just got to remain patient and, you know, trust that waiting will work. You know, waiting that 20 minutes for the bite, you know, giving each cast 20 minutes and not having too many casts, so you know that when you're casting over there, there's not a lot of bait. And what a stunning little carp that is to end the vlog on. Plenty of power and then dark winter colours. A tough afternoon, and one, like I've said on other vlogs, in winter you've just got to stick at it and have confidence that what you're doing is going to work. This is the last fish of the session. Just want to wish you all tight lines, and I'll catch you all next week. Tight lines.